I'm not a scholar or expert. I am just a guy reading the Bible. My name is Mountainsmith, and I'm reading Genesis 13 on this one. I have read it once before, but I wanted to kind of go back and reread some things and get an idea. Because Genesis is the beginning. It's put at the very beginning of the Bible. So the way I've always read books is you read from the beginning to the end. And a number of people have said you want to read the New Testament first, which is like somewhere else later down the Bible here. But I thought I would start from the very beginning, and that's what I'm doing. So I know there's a lot of questions, and these are just my kind of first thoughts and reactions, actually my second for this one. But let's get into it here. So Genesis 13, I'm going to move a little bit fast because I really wanted to get into Exodus because I've already read some of this, but I needed to reread this first like 25 chapters of Genesis. So, okay. Genesis 13, previously the call of Abram, these whole descendants, and apparently Abram has been chosen, and we are following his story as opposed to all these other descendants. For whatever reason, I don't know, but it has to be somewhat important, two things. So, Abram and Lot separate. Okay, so he was just in Egypt and deceived the Pharaoh. There was a plague, and now we're here. So Abram left Egypt and traveled north into Negev, along with his wife and Lot, and all that they owned. Abram was very rich in livestock, silver, and gold. From the Negev, they continued traveling by stages toward Bethel, and they pitched their tents between Bethel and Ai. Basically, they just went down to Egypt, and now they're going back. So, okay. Where they had camped before. This was the same place where Abram had built the altar, and there he worshipped the Lord again. So Abram, he built these altars previously when they were traveling, and now he's going to worship the Lord again. Lot, who was traveling with Abram, had also become very wealthy with flocks of sheep and goats, herds of cattle, and many tents. But the land could not support both Abram and Lot with all their flocks and herds living so close together. You know what? I remember this. Which there can't be that many people on Earth right now. It's not exactly a heavily populated place. And they've got all these animals and stuff. That's fantastic. So I don't understand why the land could not support both of them. I understand in terms of agriculture, but still, this is where they start to, I think they have some disputes, right? Yeah, so disputes broke out between the herdsmen of Abram and Lot. At that time, Canaanites and Perizzites were also living on the land. Disputes happen over herds and cattle. It's a big earth, people. Finally, Abram said to Lot, "Let's not allow this conflict to come between us or our herdsmen. After all, we are close relatives." Absolutely they are. "The whole countryside is open to you. Take your choice of any section of land you want, and we will separate. If you want the land to the left, then I'll take the land to the right. If you prefer the land on the right, then I'll go to the left." Lot took a long look at the fertile plains of the Jordan Valley in the direction of Zoar. The whole area was well watered everywhere, like the garden of the Lord or the beautiful land of Egypt. This was before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Ooh, that's going to come later, I remember, Sodom and Gomorrah. So I'm going to reread that part. Lot took a long look at the fertile plains of the Jordan Valley in the direction of Zoar. The whole area was well watered everywhere, like the garden of the Lord or the beautiful land of Egypt. So, the Jordan Valley, this was before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Is that where Sodom and Gomorrah was, in the Jordan Valley? Lot chose for himself the whole Jordan Valley to the east of them. He went there with his flocks and servants and parted company with his uncle Abram. So Abram settled in the land of Canaan, and Lot moved his tents to a place near Sodom, and settled among the cities of the plain. But the people of this area were extremely wicked and constantly sinned against the Lord. After Lot had gone, the Lord said to Abram, "Look, as far as you can see in every direction, north and south, east and west. I am giving all this land as far as you can see to you and your descendants as a permanent possession. And I will give you so many descendants that, like the dust of the earth, they cannot be counted. Go and walk through the land in every direction, for I am giving it to you." So Abram moved his camp to Hebron and settled near the oak grove belonging to Mamre. There he built another altar to the Lord. So it's like, and that's the end here of Genesis 13. So the Lord here, so Lot and Abram separate, and the Lord, Abram said, look, Lot, you go wherever you want to. He settles in the Jordan Valley, and the Lord says to Abram after he leaves, everything you see, it all belongs to you. North and south, I'm giving this land as far as you can to your descendants as a permanent possession, and I will give you so many descendants that like the dust of the earth, they cannot be counted. So if we're to take this, I would like to actually, I'd be very curious where that is actually on a real map, that this all belongs to Abram as a permanent possession, for his descendants. Kind of interesting.